Yo guys, what is up with you guys today? I hope your week is going well. So today what I'm going to be talking about is the Anbernic Rg351P gaming system. I got it a few months back just to kind of test this retro gaming market out and see how it goes. And I'm an OG gaming fan. I love the old gaming system stuff, so I had to test one of these out to see how these ROMs played, see how the system played. And so I have some thoughts on it where I think it's great for the the normal public, whether if you're like just a Joe Schmo off the street buying one of these things to catch memories, or if it's more for that nerdy gamer type that loves playing with software and changing things around here, if that's more for you. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. Now, if you like these kind of videos, tech videos, unboxings, occasional music fest review, and down the road I'm going to be doing some music tech reviews, please like and subscribe. I would love to have you as part of my family, the team, you know what I mean, and see you on here every week after the videos. I usually get on here every week, though I do work 2 jobs, so sometimes I'll go a few weeks without doing anything. But I do my best to get on here as much as I can. As this channel grows, I'm going to be on here more and more because it's something I really love to do. It's my favorite thing to do. It's my favorite thing to spend my spare time on, and so I love being on here. So now, let's get to the review. Okay guys, so let's talk about it. Now, the key things, the simplicity of it, right, is you have a good little screen on here at 3.5, you get a quad core, 1.5 gigahertz processor, right? So it's a relatively powerful little beast. I mean, these old games don't require as much power, nearly as much power as some of these new smartphones have, right? So you can play, and all these game files are actually really small when you think about it. When you go back and look how small some of these game files are, it actually will kind of boggle your mind that some of these really fun games were such small file sizes. It has a 3500 milliamp battery in here, so you're going to be good as far as battery life because it's a small screen. So first off, I would like to say, getting back to what I was saying, whether is this good for like the average person? Like if you're just a Joe Schmo, you're going to try this thing out and you see how you like it. Maybe you want to relive some of that, retro gaming madness. I think it is. I mean, when I was playing this, I noticed that it was really simple, really easy to use. I did sometimes have trouble with the button layout because my hand seemed a little too big. So when I was gripping it like this, my hands kind of naturally come down here. So, and since these buttons right here kind of are so close to each other, it was hard for me to hit one or the other. And so that was one thing that I didn't know. But besides that, honestly, it plays really well. I mean, Street Fighter games, Mario games, Zelda, all those things are going to play really well. The one system I did have problems on was whenever I try to play 3DS systems or DS systems, because that's a dual screen Nintendo device, it would sometimes split the screen on here, which I didn't really like because it made it really tiny, or it wouldn't split the screen at all, and I'm just basically having to go back and forth between those screens on this screen. And obviously these devices were made to kind of have like a item status screen and a separate screen to play on, right? So I mean, there will be a bunch of games on these things for that system. I wouldn't recommend. It's going to be a waste of your time, in my personal opinion. I mean, maybe there's if there's a retro gamer out there that's kind of figured that out, that's where it's not either two tiny screens, or where to make it more playable. Please let me know. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on it. But that was one thing I really noticed. But if you're playing games, like I said, like Street Fighter, Mario, all that kind of stuff, you're gonna be good. This is a fun thing to have. Throw it in your bag. It's easy. It's small. Is it the quality of, say, like a small Nintendo or a PSP, that kind of stuff? No, it's not. I mean, those things are built better. You can feel it. This thing is built really well. Don't get me wrong, but compared to like the big boys, obviously those are first tier devices, so they're just built better. Like one of the things I noticed about this, I'm not sure you can hear it. It makes a little like rattling noise, like there's something loose inside, right? And that's kind of be expected. Some of these things, these are probably mostly being 3D printed right out of China, and even though this is one of the better ones, because Anbernic is a good brand, I think, for this kind of stuff, it's just it's still not going to be the same high quality as, say, buying like a Nintendo Switch or something like that, right? Because those things are just built a lot better. Now, when you're buying these things, especially now, it's been a while since I first bought this and made my first video on it, just make sure you're buying well. You can find the price of these things varies a lot. I've seen them for as high as $140 on Amazon just recently, or as low as $90, and you can usually find them with thousands of games. Now, one key thing to remember when you're buying these things is that a lot of the games that come on this are not necessarily going to be configured right for this, so you may see some stretching on the screen, which you might have to go in the settings to correct. Now, if you're a person like me, I like my whole screen being used, so I don't really care if it's a little stretching, as long as I mean, I actually played with settings and kind of made the stretching go in and out to make it square like the old school assistance, layout was. And personally, the stretching, this doesn't bother me that much. I don't mind my guys being a little chubby, looks like they need to go on a diet kind of thing. I don't mind my characters doing that because that's fine. I'd rather have the whole screen in use. But other people, you guys might have your own preferences. But be advised that may be a thing. Now, the screen itself, it looks really good. I mean, you're not gonna have any complaints about that, so I'm not gonna go too far into it. And like I said, the battery life on this is also very well, so you can easily take it on a plane trip, no problem there. Now, the one thing I will say is that just remember, some of these games aren't gonna work well. So I mean, even though you may get 2,500 games, maybe only 500 work really well. That is definitely a possibility. Most of the games I've played have played well, but some of them, yeah, they just don't play well. And some of them are like random hack games. Like, so I got a few ROMs in here. There are like, some Mario version I've never heard of, that kind of thing. It was just some generic version. That will happen too, but that's all part of the experience. Now, where should you buy this? I would definitely recommend going to a place like Amazon. Now, you can go to a lot of small websites and, Alibaba, all those kind of things if you want to buy them early, right? Just be aware that some of these links, of course, some of these websites you'll be going through they are direct company websites, but some of them aren't based in the US. I mean, when you need support, they may not respond to you for a very long time. And for me personally, I'd rather get into Amazon, even if the selection isn't 100% what you can get out there, just because the fact that I want to make sure I have a good return policy. I'm a Prime member. I pay for that benefit of having stronger return policy. And so for me, it's worth it. Not saying everyone has to do that. I'm just saying if you're a layman just trying to jump in and grab one of these, Amazon, or maybe even Best Buy if you happen to see one there, is probably a better place to get it just because you're going to have a much safer return policy on it. I don't know what your guys' experience is out there. Definitely let me know in the comments about this. Now, last thing I want to say is how is it durability-wise, that kind of stuff. I think this thing it's built pretty well. All right, when you grab it, it feels strong. This brand definitely doesn't feel like it's cheap. So I mean, I do think that's another reason why I can definitely recommend this brand. So Anbernic, it's definitely a brand you want to mess with. And just remember, when you're entering this space, you're going into something that's a little bit kind of like a nerdy space, and I guess you could say, well, not an actual nerd, but like a nerdy gamer space kind of thing, where you have to be really into it to really enjoy it. Versus just grabbing like a a Nintendo Switch from a store where where everything will work perfect all the time. You will every now and then have to tinker with something on here, maybe play with settings, adjust the button settings, that kind of stuff, in order to work things. And so if you're a super novice and you're not techie at all, maybe especially if you're the kind of person that doesn't even know your iPhone 100%, this might be a little complicated for you. For if you're like intermediate though, you've used an Android phone, for example, pretty well, or maybe you've mastered your iPhone, that kind of thing, I think you can handle this no problem. But if you're an untechy person, I would not recommend it for you, because a lot of the games do click and play, there's just a few more steps to get to things than there would be if, say, buying a Nintendo Switch. So, I'm gonna wrap my thoughts up on this and tell you, who I think this is aimed for. Okay guys, so in my final thoughts on this, I really feel like when it comes to the mass, I feel like it can be for most people, but I feel like it's definitely for intermediate to and above tech people as far as how to operate it, just because of the ROM factor, maybe the fact of how you update things, computers. If you're a really bad technology, you shouldn't grab one of these. I mean, because if you're a person that still can't do everything that you can say on your iPhone, iPad, which there are those people out there, this is probably not for you. But otherwise, if you come from an age and you just really miss those retro gaming aspects, I wholeheartedly recommend this device. It's fun to have. It's small, it can fit in your pocket, you can throw in your bag when you go on an airplane. The battery life will easily get you through a plane flight. Well, unless you're going on some 12-hour flight, that's something different. But for the most part, you can easily get through some plane flight. It's really easy to charge, and it's just a great kind of reliving a lot of these fun games. But what do you guys think? I mean, didn't you guys out there have one of these devices, whether it's Anbernic or maybe another company? I mean, what do you recommend for newbies coming into the space, trying to get into it? Don't have the hardcore technical knowledge, and they're not going to be flipping ROMs back and forth. I mean, I really think it is for the masses if you can find one with prepackaged games, because that kind of makes it fun off the bat, because you're going to find at least 30-40 games out of that that are going to be really fun and work really well on it. But besides that, I mean, it's just it's a good little device to carry. It's just great to experience those old games on there. And I know there's a lot of people out there that would love to re-experience that. And guys, share your stories. Let's all help each other out so we can all make better buying decisions. And with those experiences, please experience that like and subscribe button, because I would love for you guys to be part of my family, the team, you know what I mean? And you know, that help support me on the channel. I'm still very small, trying to grow this channel, so I would appreciate all the support given. You know, sending my prayers for everyone supporting me. I definitely appreciate it. Until next time, guys, if you happen to see me out there at the bar, tap me on the shoulder. Let's have a drink together. I'd love to get to know you. I love meeting new people. It's who I am. I'm a very social person. Until then, I'll see you. Bye.